And welcome to another edition of 7 Questions Plus, brought to you, ironically, by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. Our guest today, I'm going to start with this. I always hated when a presenter would open with something like, here's someone who needs no introduction, and then do a 5-minute introduction. But truthfully, our guest today does not need an introduction. But if you don't know who Peter Cancro is, you certainly know his business. He's the founder and CEO of Jersey Mike's, which is not only one of the most successful food franchise chains in the country and the world, actually, but one of the most admired for their charitable efforts and positive impacts their some 2,200 stores make in their communities. Now, we're going to talk today about one of those efforts. Peter is a good friend of the Shore Sports Network and Town Square Media, and it is my good fortune to call him a friend as well. So with that, even though on the screen it says Tatiana Cancro, here's the less than good looking Peter Cancro.
All right.
Hi, Peter.
Hey, how are you today? Thanks for having me on again. My favorite interviewer. We always love getting together.
Yeah.
I remember a podcast or a video we did a while back, and we had a lot of people commenting about that.
And we had a lot of fun doing it. We're going to have fun with this because it's all positive. The last time, well, not the last time we talked, but of course, the most recent effort of your month of giving and day of giving raised just in March, raised an incredible $20 million, which is a record. This was the 12th annual, and it was the most successful. And this year, you had designated that all of the money from this effort in March would go to the Special Olympics USA Games, which are taking place in Orlando, Florida, from June 5th through 12th. So I guess, in the past, you've done things to help feed the hungry. That's been a pet charity of yours. What was the impetus behind all of this year's month of giving and day of giving going to the Special Olympics?
Yeah, so a lot of people question, what charities we support, and every co-op around the country always goes wherever their heart is drawn. So we're backing Children's Hospital, Boys and Girls Clubs, just all various charities, over 250 different charities. So every year we get together for the month of giving, March, and then the last Wednesday of March, we have the day of giving. So boy, this one really got a life of its own. Maybe about 4 years ago, wound up the Special Olympics Committee came in to our office through a mutual friend, and we heard about what they were doing. 2018, the games were in Seattle, and they said, 4 years from now, in 2022, which is here now, the Special Olympics will be in Orlando, Florida. So we heard about, what the major sponsors were, and they said the major sponsorship was 5 million, and they quickly traded down to 1 million sponsor, 500,000, 300,000. And I looked at them and I said, well, I called Rich Hope, our head of marketing, and I said, come on up. And, what did we raise last year for Day of Giving? Well, maybe about, 4 million or 5. And I said, what do you think we're going to raise next year? And the year after that and year. And we said, well, maybe we'd hit about 8 million this year. This is 4 years ago predicting. Well, we were off base a little bit. So we came up with, we said, you know what, we're going to pledge $10 million. We thought we would hit that. And, the committee couldn't believe it. Their main sponsorship was 5. And then we told them, it's about the kids. It's not about us. If you can get another sponsor, we'll be a co-sponsor. And they did. Another 10 million was put up in kind and money from Disney. So I knew that kind of would happen. So they got a $20 million sponsorship for a $5 million ask. So it was really exciting day. Everybody was kind of emotional in our conference room. So 4 years later, here we are for our Day of Giving. And so I remember we raised 7.3 million in 2019. 2020, we couldn't have it because of COVID. Yeah. And then 21, we thought maybe we'd hit 8.5 or 9 million for local charities. And it took off and went to as much as 15.5 million. And incredible surge. So this year we thought, I don't know, how is it going to go? And it went, and we got up to 20 million, and just so much support from customers from local communities where our stores are serving. That's the beauty of it. Even workers in the stores giving up their pay for the day and giving it over to Special Olympics. I mean, there's so many emotional stories across the country. Just really a special, special time and day. And now here we are. The games are coming up, opening ceremony June 5th. And we have all of our area directors and a lot of people going down for that.
It had to be just so make you feel so good when the numbers came in to know, and again, this is a franchise all-in effort. Every store you have from right here in your backyard to, California, whatever, every store gets involved. And like you said, in many different ways. The initiative is everything from that day of giving. It's a month-wide effort, but everything from that day of giving goes right to the charitable connection. But there were so many other things people did. It just got to make you feel good because I know you believe in it so much.
Right. And we watched the day and heard the numbers as they were going. And, everybody should know that it's not mandatory that all the owners give up all their sales proceeds for the day, 100% of sales. But they all get it. They all understand the culture of the company. They all care about that. And they know that's a give, makes a difference in people's lives. And that's why people, they resonate, they hear about that and they come in. And, it's just outstanding success, what we achieved there that March 30th this year.
A very cool thing is going to happen on Tuesday. The law enforcement torch run, which starts in Chicago, is going to come through Point Pleasant Beach, your hometown, with police officers and athletes carrying what they call the flame of hope. They'll actually start at Jenkinson's and be on the boardwalk, and they'll make their way to Donald T. Fioretti Field at the Antrim Middle School on Tuesday at 1:30. And I know the flame coming to that specific location has special meaning to you.
Sure. So that's Coach Fioretti's field. He was my coach in high school, and what a great leader and mentor he was. Now, that field was where I played ball, 74 season. And, we won the championship that year, and we're getting better every year. We talk about it, of course. But in 1975, when I took over the business, I was 17, senior year in high school. But that summer, we, believe it or not, did a Special Olympics, a little track event down at the football field. And the track is kind of the most popular, the runners and the special kids were in it, and just so heartfelt, hugs after the races. And, if you think about, most of our upbringing, it's our coaches and our teachers that really helped raise us up. And the Special Olympics is really for them. It's their time to thrive, to rise up. It means so much to them, more than we could ever know. So here it is, 1975, got involved with Special Olympics. My friend Keith Hertling was involved, out west in Kansas, and has been involved all his life. And he's the one that kind of got me interested, spurred me on with it. Now I think the Shrivers started it way back when, family. But here it is. So 47 years later, we're the national sponsors, and I get to introduce on the national TV, the games. So pretty thrilling moment for me, right? So 47 years later, a full circle. Now we've supported them through the years, all the different events around the country, regionally, and then this is the first time on a national level.
I can only imagine that Coach Fioretti will be looking down with a smile on his face and saying, "Peter, you've done well."
Yeah.
There'll be a ceremony at the field on Tuesday. New Jersey athletes who will be competing in the games will be on hand, along with officials from the Special Olympics. You'll also be speaking at what really should be a wonderful event, and it is open to the public. I want to make mention, Tuesday, 1:30, the Antrim Middle School, the Point Pleasant Beach football field. It should be pretty cool because I know that after that, the torch is going to be on its way to Philadelphia.
Right. I think also we're going to be feeding whoever comes. So that's an extra incentive always, right?
No question. No question.
Some Jersey Mike subs on the field.
What is it about the Special Olympics and these USA games that really resonates with you?
Yeah. So again, like I said, all of us, most of us have been involved in youth sports and activities. But to see what it means to them is really the special part. It just really moves you emotionally to see them taking part and giving their best effort. We had a commercial out there for like a couple of weeks showing some of the athletes, one of the fellows weightlifting, track and field, basketball, swimming. There's so many events. I think there's how many athletes coming? It's about, I think it's about what, 50,000 athletes down.
Wow, to
Coming.
Florida.
Hang on, let
Yeah.
me just check that number there. I got my little cheat notes here, right? Right. Let's see how many. Yeah, I'm sorry, 5,500
5,000.
athletes. But Ocean and Monmouth County athletes are coming, a lot from New Jersey, all across the country, Canada, and several other countries as well. So
You
it's
know,
the biggest event, for Special Olympics, obviously.
this event, Tuesday's event, the Torch Run Relay, being held on a football field is kind of near and dear to you. We touched on a little bit, and I think a lot of people know your story, but I always have the opportunity, because I think it's as good an example of entrepreneurship than you could possibly have. 17 years old, you're a high school senior. Now, at that time, you are planning to go to the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. I mean, it's your senior year.
Yeah.
Your next stop is Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Then this opportunity comes up to buy a sub store where you had worked and your brother had worked in nearby Point Pleasant, Mike Subs. You buy this store, and I kind of say, like, the rest is history. The history is not, it's not an overnight success. You have bumps in the road and all that, but I'm always impressed by how you have always used sports analogies, and you use it even when you address franchisees, because you believe there's such great value from sports that applies to life and business.
Yeah, it always has. And, I always ask, people always say, well, how did you get where you are at this point? And quite frankly, it's from coaches and teachers when we were young, from a youth age, starting at 10, 11 for me, that helped raise us up, that were after us to do our best, to achieve. We learn, team play, we learn fairness, we learn everything, the staples in life, integrity, and, being part of one unit. So that applies to our lives, to business, and to giving, and really learned that from Bob Hoffman, Hoffman's Ice Cream, Jack Baker from the Lobster Shanty, local business mentors of mine that, again, gave unconditionally to the community.
Which is why this will always be home to you, and because this is where you were molded. I mean, these people had an impact on your life.
It's funny how, we go around today. I was in the Point store maybe a couple of weeks ago. How many stores do you think we have? And, people, quick guess. I don't know, 100, 150. It's amazing how many people don't know. They just come to the local Jersey Mike's store. They know that we're a chain, but it doesn't feel like a chain. It's their local sub sandwich shop, local community store. And to date now, we have about, 2,300 stores. We should finish up this year with about 2,500, but just starting to grow. And we're growing from within.
Yeah.
Existing owners buying more stores, individual owners opening up. The Rod Smith Sponsorship Award. Somebody gave me a shot to get into business. My coach, Rod Smith, he said, I think we can do something, and he did. So we're giving that opportunity to young people that never dreamed they'd be in their own business. Yes, some minority kids or just people with no means are coming in and getting their own shop because they have the energy, they understand the culture, they want to share their life with the customer. And it's incredible to see that rise up. That's very fulfilling.
Yeah, you have a game plan, and you got to fit into the game plan. Otherwise, you're not a good fit for the company. I always wonder this. Have you ever taken a moment in your life to wonder what would have happened if 17-year-old Peter Cancro didn't buy that store and went to North Carolina?
A lot of people get caught up in that, what would have happened, what could have happened, or, no, you got to each day get up, put your feet on the floor, and let's go. Let's review what's happening, but we always got to improve and do better on what we did the day before, the year before, just like a coach with a season. He's got a winning season. He's got each game is a new task, and each season is a new, beginning. And that's kind of how we view it. We always have to improve. We have to rise up and do better, for our owners and our people from within.
You
pretty,
have been
pretty simple.
Yeah, it is. In a way,
Yeah.
it is simple. It's just a matter of you got to execute it, right? So
Right.
we always say what football comes down to blocking and tackling. Everything else sort of takes care of itself.
I think at one point I had heard this, that if Warren Wolf, who passed, he was the Brick longtime head coach. He said if he was president of the United States, he would mandate that everybody play 1 year of football at least, because it's kind of sets yourself. There's sports in our lives, but then there's football. And it's just what it teaches you is really something. I'm a little biased, of course. So.
That's okay. You have been, and I've told you this, that you and Jersey Mike's have been an invaluable partner for our Shore Sports Network. We are proud to say that you are our signature sponsor, and you do so many good things. And, I just want to take this opportunity. Not only are you a sponsor, the things we do during the course of the year, we honor a team of the week, but we also feed them. And the kids love it when we show up at their practice session to tell them you're the team of the week. And by the way, here's gift cards so you can all get subs at Jersey Mike's. They don't care. They don't care about us showing up. They want the Jersey Mike's, but it's those little touches that you do and you continue to do that means so much to athletes.
Thank you. I tell the crew, and I tell Mike Manzo, hey, we've got to have giant subs, not the half sub for the players, the whole sub. So that's, it's our honor, pleasure to do it. So many people talk about the kids today, and I'm like, seriously? In the 70s, they said, these kids today, you don't understand, they're not the same. In the 80s and 90s, they're still saying it today, but no, the kids are great. That's what we see out there. It's just what culture they want to join. How are they being treated? When I was 14, I showed up at Mike's Subs before it was named Jersey Mike's. My voice mattered. And that's the kind of culture it was, small family nucleus, and everybody regarded and respected. And that's what I think we're carrying across the country as well, as the giving, making a difference in someone's life.
To kind of tie a knot or bow on this whole thing, I know you have to be incredibly proud of what has led up to where we are today with the Special Olympics USA Games. I know Tuesday will be wonderful for you personally and for your company, to have the torch run stop at the Antrim School in Point Pleasant Beach on the football field where you played, and then to know in a couple of weeks at the opening ceremonies of those games that it was Jersey Mike's that has really made this all happen. It's got to just make you feel really good.
Yeah, it does, but also it's just so many people use that as, hey, we want to come and be part of the giving. You can't do it alone, but people recognize it and just kind of joyful about it. And we smile from ear to ear. We work hard, all the owners work hard, but it's the communities, the customers that really support it and raise it up. Incredible what's happening across the nation. And it's just not stopping. We're just really getting going, it's amazing to see.
Yeah. Don't expect to see the growth of Jersey Mike slow down anytime soon, folks. Peter, you are the face of the franchise, whether you like it or not, you are. And it is a franchise that we are really proud to have a relationship with. And it brings me great pleasure to call you a friend. Continued great wishes for everything. And thank you for your continued support of so many things that make a difference in our community.
Always, because you always support the community and the kids. And that's why we're with you. Thank you for that.
Peter Cancro, founder, CEO of Jersey Mike Subs. They're getting all set to host and be very big part of the Special Olympics USA Games. And again, Tuesday, 1:30, Antrim School in Point Pleasant Beach. You'll see something indeed very special. Thanks for joining us for another edition of 7 Questions Plus, ironically brought to you by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. And by the way, the Swiss and portobello mushroom sub is a home run, or for Peter's sake, I should call it a touchdown. Thanks for joining us, Kevin Williams. We'll see you soon right here on the Shore Sports Network and Town Square Media.